What are precautions in attack under IHL? Have you ever wondered how military operations can be conducted while still protecting civilians and their property? This is a key question in the realm of International Humanitarian Law, or IHL. Let's break down what precautions in attack mean under IHL and how they play a vital role in safeguarding civilian objects and lives during armed conflicts. Precautions in attack are specific actions that parties involved in armed conflicts must take to reduce harm to civilians and civilian objects. These measures are essential for ensuring the protection of civilians, as outlined in the Geneva Conventions and Additional Protocol I. First, it is crucial for those planning or carrying out attacks to verify the nature of their targets. Attackers must do everything possible to confirm that the object they intend to strike is a legitimate military target. This means ensuring that the target is not a civilian object or someone who enjoys special protection under IHL. Next, attackers must choose their means and methods of warfare carefully. This involves selecting weapons and tactics that minimize incidental harm to civilians and civilian objects. Indiscriminate attacks are not allowed, and adjustments should be made to account for the presence of civilians in the area. Another important aspect is the assessment of proportionality. Before launching an attack, commanders need to evaluate whether the expected civilian harm would be excessive compared to the military advantage anticipated. If the potential harm to civilians is disproportionate, the attack should not proceed. If conditions change during an operation, attackers must be ready to cancel or suspend their attacks. For instance, if new information indicates that the target is no longer a valid military objective, or if the expected civilian harm becomes disproportionate, the attack must be halted. Providing effective advance warnings is also a key requirement. Except in rare cases where surprise is necessary, attackers are obligated to warn civilians of impending attacks. This allows civilians to take protective measures and evacuate if needed. These obligations apply not only to attackers but also to defenders. Defenders must take feasible steps to protect civilians under their control. This includes avoiding the placement of military objectives near civilian areas to reduce the risk of harm. The legal foundation for these precautions is primarily found in Article 57 of Additional Protocol I to the Geneva Conventions. This article outlines the duty to take all feasible precautions in planning and executing attacks. Additionally, Rule 15 of the International Committee of the Red Cross's Customary International Law study reinforces these requirements. In practice, precautions in attack are designed to uphold the principles of distinction and proportionality. Distinction means differentiating between combatants and civilians, while proportionality involves balancing military advantage against civilian harm. Together, these principles ensure that the conduct of hostilities respects the protection of civilians and civilian objects, which is a fundamental aspect of international humanitarian law.